Creation is a horrible and unexpected place. Listen at your own risk. Welcome to the Immaculate Chaos, an adventure of triumph, mistake, and heartache. Listen as beings unbound by the loom of fate struggle against unseen forces in a reality they barely understand. With intentions blinded by light and a path hidden in darkness, yet another step is taken towards uncertainty. Join battle once again, Anathema, as this story must yet be told.
That's how my parents body trained me.
So we're going to do a recap of Game 46 for anyone who missed it, which is everyone. Game 45, which is actually where the audience left off. They had met a fucked up squirrel and adventured into a town that is currently known as Wood Nation, aka Soka. From there, they found a glade, which was mainly ignored by Angus on his desire to find a cold or room temp brewski to enjoy. He was sidelined by the desires of others, who decided to run headlong into the Forgotten Glade, a mystical place of dark and ominous origins, where people may or may not have been disappearing, and they had no information on, and they emerge into a crossroads of paths, one path going up, one path going down, one path going straight, and one curving slightly to the left. They cast some magic, find out that a water fox of some sort was destroyed and buried, and that was all they found. They were being flown, or Ari was being flown as a demonic praying mantis on a bird of questionable origin, and the game ended. Between those games, as most of our repeating audience knows at this point, we do have inter-game communication between, so that they can plot and plan and figure things out. Not that it ever happens, but they can do it. But so that they can actually kind of figure out what they want to do or where they need to do or need to go for the next game. So we don't spend a lot of time just kind of shooting shit in the beginning of these games and, you know, oh god, 3 hours later, let's get an hour of actual gameplay in. But between games, the creature known as 8 offered that, look, this is getting boring. I'm leaving. Who wants to come with me? The majority of the group decides that they are going to take him up on the offer, and he teleports everyone away in smoke. Those left behind are Angus and Camlin, and again, that show is available on subscribestar.com/Immaculate Chaos. The rest of the group is teleported back to the woods, where they are greeted by a sleeping Fen, a hurt Yuki, and a bunch of horses in a wagon. And
I think we should go around the table and everybody give their version of a recap of what happened last time.
We're literally between game 45 and 46.
Yeah, you jumped ahead a little bit, but we love you all the same.
But I'm ready.
You want to do the recap for the entirety of game 46?
What happened in 46?
She's supposed to tell everybody she got a cat.
Yes. We'll get there. So, they arrive in the woods. They're by themselves. The last thing they heard was, wait, where did Angus go? That's all they know. That is the beginning of Game 46. Now, Game 46, we were recording. Gondane was not 100%. He was feeling a little under the weather. So we attempted to use Discord as a way to kind of remote him into game, just to try and follow protocols and safety precautions and whatnot. It completely blew up in our faces, and the entirety of Game 46 is gone. It was recorded, but nothing was being broadcast. So even though our machines were saying that it was good, it was good. I've done 4 or 5 tests on this now, this setup, this whatever, and it should be fine. Here's hoping. But Game 46 was, I don't want to say a nightmare, but it was a clusterfuck. They started to explore Wood Nation. They found out a couple of different things. Eventually, they discovered that there is a place called Picnic where there is a creature called a blood dragon who is eating or removing or disappearing the Lotus Empire soldiers. So en route to that direction, Camlin and Angus appear back in the forest camp that the rest of them had left behind, and Fen sees them in his unique way and teleports back to find out what's going on. Eventually, the parties decide that they're going to meet up by... I'm going to say Angus turns Camlin into a mobile platform, and they charge full force across the landscape. So they ran to catch up with the rest of the party. They shared information. Raven was handed a desiccated arm that was missing a ring finger. And when she touched it, it became her right arm, where her right ring finger had been turned into wood. Raven's arm Zalia's arm is now actually a normal-looking arm. There's no weird discolorization to it, but they kind of left it there, and they didn't really explore it any more than that. They then all went to a town called Picnic, which is at the base of a very large red tree with a canopy that is miles and miles in the sky, where they found a bunch of odd things. Now, in this town, they found one building that was a business. It was a workshop of sorts. I'm in the middle of pulling up my write-up for that, so I can actually just reread the description here, and then we can just go from there. So they found a place with a large sign that looks like a crimson dragon sitting on a pile of hourglasses. It was a large building with a single 50-foot by 100-foot door standing closed beside a windowless 3-floor building with a 2-floor double door. Now, the sign itself was a neon sign, like you would see in Las Vegas. Inside, there was a lot of large-scale objects. There was various wing-like constructs hanging in the air above the shop floor. There were roughly 50 types of wood on display on a wall next to about 100 metal ingots of varying different alloys and solutions and colors and hardnesses. And they were surrounding a prominent glass display in the middle of all of this, displaying a floating ship model. Now, the ship wasn't just like painted there, it was literally floating on a podium surrounded in glass. There was a plate in front of this display that read "Ship of the Lord's Garden." Now, this was, when it was read in the language that it was written, the pronunciation of that in its native tongue was Arkanseel, which was correctly designated to the ship that is owned by Casateo. They discover that the Arkanseel is probably a dead ship, but they were offered to buy 2 seeds that were promised by a living tree to revitalize the wood and give it new life, so that it could perhaps fly in the future. They were also handed as a gift for the price that they paid, which was a level 4 artifact from Camlin and Angus. Angus gave up a artifact that he had found that was his for the betterment of the group to this tree. And because of that fee, they each got a soul gem, an empty soul gem, which was explained that for every essence dot in a soul gem that is put into the ship, feasibly one more person could be held aloft. They haven't tested this out yet, but they all have gems. It was demonstrated by Kip that as an elemental, he can enter and leave the gem at his leisure. So they are fairly certain that the gems work on a forced basis as well as a voluntary basis. They then proceeded to try and find the Blood Oath Mall. It's actually called the Treeside Trading Post, but it was notified that it was a Blood Oath trading place. Inside, it is a 6-floored mall of commerce run by the Blood Oath trading family. It is more or less a certainty in this town that if business is done, it's not done without a stall in the trading post. It also functions as a village directory as well as a marketplace. It is a place of constant movement and of hawking wares. There is an open floor in the middle on the very first level with a constant auction of assorted items. Now, the post itself, they didn't explore too extensively. They found that the first floor with the auctions and everything, they found a large tree that was off-center, kind of cradling the auction. And on the back of that tree, they found a door that led to a mercury-colored liquid that was vertically standing inside the tree. They eventually figure out that the tree itself is some sort of entity that is used for transportation, and its name is Sylph. They go to the top floor, which happens to be the floor of the trading company, and they find a girl at the actual reception desk called Cousin Priska. Cousin Priska doesn't have a lot of information, but she does kind of lose her composure at seeing Angus out of fear as well as confusion as well as wonder of what is going on. But the ladies of the group are handed 2 pieces of paper as Priska is trying to explain to them that right there, that is Angus. On one of the papers was a drawing of Angus, as if from a romance novel, standing at the prow of a ship, kissing Rose's neck. The other is a Blood Oath family memo reading, "My man has gone missing before he could even be bothered to make us a bed to break. If you find him, let him know I'm at the main house in Foyle. Any niece that touches him before I do is getting my chimera leather whip. And not all nice like neither." Signed, Rose Blood Oath. The group is immediately ushered over to some guest rooms of, hey, look, you can stay here. Obviously, friends of the family, don't worry about paying. Here's some really nice rooms that you guys can use while you guys are here. But you're going to want to talk to Auntie Gundrade. She's the one that is really going to be able to help you with any information. They ask about a person called the Blood Dragon, Priska is unsure as to the nature of who the Blood Dragon is, but she is aware that the Blood Dragon comes from above. After repeated questions of what would you mean above, Priska gives them the information that above is Basket. The group goes back to the Sylph, finds out that if they say Basket to the Sylph, they are teleported or moved or whatever to a new area that is very close to the canopy of the very odd-looking tree that Picnic was built around. They find a very large building in front of them, covered in stone with a force field with no way of messing with it. There is damage that is dealt out by touching it, and no one is really sure what to do. So at this point, the group is left to wait for the week for Auntie Gundrade to show up and more information to be dealt out. It was explained by myself that this is purposely put in to give the characters a chance to explore the town, but also train, give them a week of, hey, look, yeah, I'm forcing you to stick around, but do the thing, use your time, figure out what you want to do. Between Game 46 and me cursing my computer and my life and the recording and everything else, they decide that, okay, we're going to explore. Because there's really nothing else we want to do at the moment. We're really not sure what we want to train, so let's explore. Everyone is going to be starting back at the headquarters, because that is where the rooms are. Everyone's going to be given a chance to unload the things that they wish to not be carrying with them around Picnic, as Picnic is the very first place that they wish to explore. Ari, you are free to add any embellishments and what have yous that you wish. Everyone take a moment.
8 tells us, come with me if you want to live. And we do. Except Camlin and Angus.
Because I really wanted to live.
So we left to find, I left to find more information and, subsequently, very sad that I missed out.
Oh, I am an ass. I completely skipped over the the
You completely cut me off and
Oh, yeah, no,
interrupting
that-
my amazing recap of what happened.
Oh yeah, no, but I'm gonna add some facts in here real quick.
Not
Give
only
me
that.
God damn it.
You about to be fact
You gave me free reign.
I mean, sort of, not really. As much as I want you to have free reign. No.
Rude.
Rude. There was an inn, and they all explored it. They met a new NPC, and her golem,
Everyone
and they made a
except for
promise.
Hamlin and Angus.
Everyone except for Camlin and Angus.
Well,
but
we realized we screwed up and we were trying to get you guys out.
They were. They weren't just abandoning them. They were actually working towards trying to figure out how to solve the Forgotten Glade. So they all went to the Murky Wall, which is a tavern that's built onto or against the glade. And they met a automaton named Rogmo. Rhogmo. He's an animated statue of a male named Adonis. He uses a shield to serve the customers and a marble sword to remove the troublemakers. The construct is created and maintained by Harlequin. His appearance is 5, but he is unable to perform outside of his specific duties, and they discovered that quite quickly because they'd ask him questions. He's like, "Is that a drink?" No. I want to know more about the Forgotten Glade. I'm not really sure about that main course, but we do offer, roast beef or whatever. Harlequin Hibisque is a dryad. She has appearance 5. She speaks suspiciously like a copyright character of a specific Dark Knight variety. And she talks about a gambler she calls Puddin, who got lost in the Forgetful Glade. Upon getting a promise of trying to get him out, or not a promise, but their word that they're going to try to do their best to get him out. She gives them the information that the glade was created by the first hag, and it was only one part of a larger working. She lets them know that the glade is used as the power source for the Golden Court, which was put up by the Lady of Despair. And within the glade is a transdimensional puzzle. And the location was chosen special by the hag to bury something called the Treasure of Kazuhisa. Ari?
So I left to hopefully find more information. So we ended up going to a bar and talking to the lady and getting such information as our lovely storyteller has now filled you in and spoiled my
Big reveal.
It's whatever. It's fine. Anyways, so we leave to go and...
So there I was in Pai.
God damn it!
Sorry, go ahead.
So we go searching for this blood dragon in a place called Picnic. And it takes us a while to journey there, and along the journey... Oh, wait. First we pick up Fen in the cart, and Fen lets us know that he doesn't know who Camlin and Angus are anymore, which is really weird. Then we start heading to Picnic, and eventually Fen's like, "Oh hey, where are those guys?" And we're like, "Fuck, you remember them?" So apparently they popped out of a sewage pipe somewhere, and eventually they catch up to us, but they brought presents! They brought us a sack full of a cat and puppies!
Way more than just puppy, weren't they like hellhounds or something awesome?
They were wargs.
Wargs.
Puppies!
After just griping about too many pets.
Only you.
Only because I haven't been sharing in the bounty.
Now she's fine.
Yes, because I have a tumble kit. I have a bog cat, and she is intelligent, and she's beautiful, and I love her. She's going to be my familiar.
Dang it.
Dog's better.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Anytime.
Gave him the
You're lucky I ran out of familiar slots or you would have murdered me.
Yeah, and then we went to a shop run by tree ents, and Angus paid for the seeds to revitalize my boat to make it fly, as well as some soul gems, and my boat's gonna fly as soon as I collect enough soul.
the look of pure thirst on her
Somebody
face.
find me an orphanage.
Got rid of the
No.
angry frisbee for some soul gems.
But that's basically what you do. Like, we can find demons, or we can trap demons in there, and I think Angus is probably more okay with that, because as far as he's concerned, demons make slaves, so... Haha. But
While she's going through her
She's
story,
back to
is that
orphans.
something Angus is actually like trying to think about?
that is definitely something he's considered, because you
Okay.
did mention that...
Give me an
let's-
intelligence craft ship.
Intelligence craft ship?
Mm-hmm. Shipwright, if you have it.
I have that.
So then we
Good.
went to the inn, and the lady behind the desk showed us some very romance novel portraits of Angus.
Dirty pictures.
You liked it.
Did.
Got you a little excited. Made you
Sully
miss-
and I were oohing and ahhing.
Made you miss Luther.
Makes us see Angus in a new light. He's a wanted man, so now women will want him.
I feel attacked.
Why do you hurt me so?
And then we rode the weird elevator up to the thing, and it won't let us get in because we don't have permission from the lady, but the lady's not here. So now we're going to go explore because the storyteller won't let us do anything else. That is the Ari recap.
That'll be interesting.
Interrupted several times, just like the real game.
Yeah. Yeah, you have. I'm better than that.
Gratham doesn't interrupt.
Of course you are, you're a lunar.
Yeah.
Anyone else want to add anything from last game?
No, I covered everything.
Angus and Camlin did give a rough recap of what happened inside the Glen. It is from what we could tell, it is a compass point combination puzzle maze. And we found a series of wells
Slow it down.
and that had all the different stuff in it. And there are several of which, one with a jester character who, after they explained to us the lady at the bar, we suspect is her puddin'. Two of which have magical hoobity-joobity that we're pretty sure we need Zalia to help fully understand. And one of them was a spooky spider hoo-ha that we are all a little terrified to mess with. And it was heavily implied by our storyteller that there may or may not be a combination to figure out that is more than 4 points in a specific order. Because north, south, east, west would be one thing, and then north, east, west, south would be another thing. But he definitely implied, unless we was reading too much into it at 3 in the morning, that there might be a larger version combo that gets us something that we.
Well, you
haven't
got
figured out
like
yet.
north, northeast, east,
No, not-
northeast.
No,
No,
you
not-
literally
you
had an
know,
option
not-
of north, south, east, or west.
Okay.
That was all head.
So you have 4 options of 4 things. I literally came up with at least 16 different rooms
Look,
for them to go through.
I didn't like math when I had to do it. I like science math, you know?
There's 16
Applied
permutations on the combo of 4.
Yep. So they have
Yeah.
unlocked and seen every possible 4 combos. Now they have not hit upon a 5 combo that has worked yet.
Did you guys draw a map?
So it really
As soon as they hit a room, it opened.
Imagine a safe
and
with
it
each
reset.
different combination opening a different container.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool.
So there's a
Alright.
possibility that there's a higher level combination that we just haven't figured out. But
And Angus would be pretty sure that would mean that it would, if a higher combination, it would not contain one of the 16 predispositions.
Kimlin thinks 4 directions, 16 combos. It's not
I.e.,
5 directions.
at bare minimum, if north, south, east, west opens a room, they would have to do something like north, south, east, east, and then something
West.
west.
Well, I did
X.
do one of those.
So
and
that
we
could
didn't
be.
get anywhere.
You guys did not do that.
we tried at least one.
No, you guys went north,
We tried
north,
one.
south, east, west.
Yeah.
Like, the kind of stuff. So that didn't work.
Yeah.
That wasn't something. So at some point, like,
Yeah,
there are
did.
possibilities of additional combos, but they weren't going to spend all night on that. They were like, we got the 4 issues, we got the thing that we needed to get, and let's go.
Yeah,
Combo burger.
kind of under the assumption that we would need to come back. Oh, we also found a cow-eating frog demon of some sort.
Yeah, a minotaur was in a basement and was completely eviscerated, and there were frog footprints, bloody frog footprints.
Yeah, that's right. It was a minotaur. He called it a cow beast, and then was like, I feel like you guys might have been too tired to catch this. That was totally a minotaur. Oh.
I had to point that out last game.
Yes.
Yep.
Because I described it, and he was like, so minotaur. I'm like, yes.
I'm not sure if that's copyrighted. No, it's old enough. Creative Commons.
So Ari kind of goes on a tirade. What are your skills? What are you good at? Like, what do you do? I can shapeshift into creatures. I do a sacred hunt. Demon form allows me to tell if someone is lying or being deceptive, as well as improve my sight for every sense that I sacrifice. I can also set up 2 points that we can teleport through, but both points need to be set up first. It takes an hour to set up the point initially, and it'll draw attention when I do it. I have some really cool things I can do with my beast forms as well as familiars. I can pick locks. I have 3 dots in war. I can sail. I can navigate the wild and not get lost as long as I am in creation. I can make my blood venomous, and I have a better chance of not succumbing to poison or venom effects. I think you all know pretty much everything else I can do, but I'll add to this if I remember something. So that started a whole thing of Fen. Oh, well, sorry, Ari. I can't say I'm going to be helpful in this, but I kind of remember a little right now. I was once called a kitsune, or a fox, but until recently I can't honestly say I remember seeing another one. I remember the Arctic and Mist kitsunes now, but a month ago I wouldn't have been able to say that. My chain chakram is special and sacred, but other than using it to move Gratham's soul into his new body, I'm not really sure what it does. I am super sneaky, like poof, and I can be places. There are little holes everywhere. I can slide through them like tunnels. I like tunnels, by the way. I kind of do the same thing with your thoughts. I find the holes in creation and I pounce on them till it gives me my prize. I feel like I'm forgetting a lot and my head feels fuzzy, but I'm starting to think it's not bad, just something about me. Does that help? You were asking me, yes? Ari says, thank you, Fen. It's a start. And then Fen smiles and starts pouncing on the ground. I am helping! Camlin then responds, I'm not reading it. It's huge and it's long and it's impressive. Insert samurai soliloquy.
Yeah.
More or less, Camlin's focus is not about thinking, it's about doing, it's about action. More or less is what I got from it myself.
Me are good with sword. Go cut thing die.
The one quote that's we could say that's not bad is the one about the scarecrow does its job without overthinking it, so let's just be like the scarecrow, man.
Yep. However, Camlin did actually admit that he specializes in cursed weapons, and that he does have 2 of them. So that is something that perhaps not all the characters have heard before.
Angus actually did tell the group that we found one of them in the
Correct.
In the glade.
Yep. And Angus basically just said that he's tough, he's experienced with the forge, and because of that he can hit people with his weapon. He can pretty much make things, but that, time is the price that he pays to get it all done. To which Fen also said, I think time is the price I pay as well. And that was pretty much it. Other than that, they were the only responses, but yes, Cameron. There was a little bit of tirade in the middle of more of just, what the hell, guys? Let's beat our heads together and figure something out. Let's kind of get to know each other a little bit. So there was a little bit of that this week. For those that are joining us, because of the shit going in the canal, it is Japan's fault today. So they are the cause of all of our troubles. So when we roll ones, it is Japan.
40 billion worth Japan.
40 billion
I think
a
it's
day.
been 4 days. No. 10 billion a day. It's been 4 days. And they're expecting weeks.
Oh my
Why
god.
don't they just
Uphold
blow it up?
Just
I think the people that own the cargo containers are going to be a little upset.
They're insured.
Maybe.
At this point, it's probably cheaper
Yeah.
Yeah.
than what they're liable for.
There's a whole thing in it that's not worth talking about on here, and we'll talk about it later.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's get to game. Okay, so you are all in the Blood Oath headquarters, the Treeside Trading Post, and inside here, you guys have your own private residences. Everyone is set up with a unique room unless you tell Preska not to set you up with a unique room. So if you wish to bunk with somebody, now would be the time to say that you're bunking with somebody and you don't have your own room.
I'll be
Okay.
bunking with Zalia.
Bunker
Does everyone
with
else
Angus.
take their own room?
Yeah.
No.
No? You're with Camlin? Got
Yep,
it.
we got it.
No,
I
wait.
guess I'm with Grappin then, because, you know.
What?
Yes.
Oh man.
I mean, we could all have our own rooms. I want my own room.
You don't want to bunk with
I need to
Dan
change
Angus
Gaines?
wants his own room.
I need to teach you the ways of the Lunars.
You don't want to
I feel like that involves a lot of lube.
No, I don't get bigger. Look, I'm also not RPing sex chat with Nagi or Ari. Sorry.
I cup your cheek gently.
Oh, spit in my mouth.
Also, disclaimer, it's 5 o'clock somewhere.
That's true.
So you guys are in the headquarters. 2 of you have taken your own private rooms. You guys have a chance to drop off whatever you guys don't want to carry around town. It is promised to be secured here, and there are actual locks on the doors.
No way.
Yeah. Not most taverns don't have locks.
Yeah.
Like this seems to be more of like,
Getting fancy now.
yeah. So anything that you don't want, either put it away from your character so you know that you don't have it on you for the moment, or you're just carrying it with you and it doesn't matter to you. You are in Picnic. You are currently in a specific district of Picnic. That district is technically called Landing. A large blood red tree, 100 feet in diameter, raises into the sky beyond sight. The sky itself is purplish green, mottled with shafts of sunlight that have managed to break through the canopy above, somewhere. You're not really sure where it is.
Feels very Fern Gully-ish.
Yes.
No, it's the home tree from Avatar.
The village itself bustles along amongst the roots of the verdant giant, managing to the buildings themselves, managing to build around the dark crimson root. Strange iron pillars stand every 10 feet along the finely paved roads, producing blue-orange lights, flames for illumination. Speaking of which, I need a craft alchemy roll. Intelligence. The buildings are not plaster, thatch, or wood, but a reddish-hued material that gleam maliciously in the streetlights. The roofs were able that you can see from the ground, as well as they were entering, appear to bear the weight of black mold with spore pods that give off purplish bioluminescent glows. The windows themselves in all of these buildings are nearly translucent membranes of a slight purple hue, while the doors themselves appear to be a dark gray steel. No buildings are less than 3 floors. 7. They're burning propane. They're natural gas streetlights.
Oh, cool.
And propane accessories?
Yeah. No buildings are less than 3 floors, and the 3rd level has a network of walkways and access stairways. So similar to a district that out in Nexus. So Jack would be very familiar with this. But basically, the 1st floor has doors and everything, and just street level. Then you have several staircases every, city block, quote unquote, that goes up to a network of walkways and balconies and that kind of thing, that have another level of doors and streets and all of that. That covers the entire city. It's not just specific. The settlement is not encompassed by a wall, but it has several dark gray steel towers around it. Atop the towers is a nearly enclosed dome with a cylindrical tube that juts out from a dark vertical slit, and that is the city that they find themselves in. Now, from your vantage point, there is actually a area off to one side that is an observation deck in this tower of commerce, and you guys are able to see all of this from this very high vantage point. You don't see the village on the other side of the tree, but you do see that there is one that has a little bit more light, one district to the east that has a little bit more light, while the district to the north seems to be in shade, and that is it. And you guys are in the district of Landing. The southeastern road is what feeds this area. You guys see a hodgepodge of corrals and stables and machinery. They're openly in one stage or another of construction. The map itself lists 2 other districts. One's called Tannery, one's called Leeway. Leeway is the shaded area on that you guys are witnessing from far, far above. Tannery is the one that has more light. And you do actually see a couple of stacks of smoke and stuff coming from that direction.
I'm going to start with Tannery.
You want to start with Tannery?
I was actually interested in that too.
Okay. You guys go to Tannery. 2 roads leave this specific area. If you look at the map, you'll see the 2 roads, they lead east, more or less. They lead further east from a district of ranches and hide processing businesses. Nearby routes have managed to keep the pungent smell from the other districts, so as you guys walk into the tannery, you'll see this level of like almost smog just above you. As you guys walk the stairs, the smell down on the ground level is more or less fine. You're starting to smell a little bit, but as you guys walk through, you guys realize that all of the tanneries have been restricted to the 3rd level.
Yeah.
So that is where all this stuff is. So the smell's starting up here and then going up, but you do get a little bit of whiff of it when air moves. You guys quickly discover that you can find anything here. If it's made of leather, if it's made of cloth, it's here. There's several places in ranches for various different types of animals. Llamas, sheep, yak, buffalo, cows, this giant weird green elk thing. You guys find 2 businesses that seem a little unique. You find a building that's built like an upside down shoe. So you see like a kind of like almost like a tower with like a shoot off into the buildings next to it on the edge of the northeastern road. It bears a single door with 3 words darkly stained on the wall. You guys got a 5, so you know it's blood, but it's from 3 different creatures. And it says blood hides all. You guys find one other place. It looks like the wall of this building has actually been folded out to create a stage of sorts. Various tight-fitting clothes are on display for various uses, spanning the gambit from hunting and sneaking to dancing and acting.
I'd like to explore the blood one.
So inside, the shop is little more than a few workstations. A large spiral staircase with several floors of trophies. In the middle of the first floor is a large board where various drawings have been posted with or without names and prices. So you see a board.
Yeah.
And you just see drawings of different creatures and people and things. Some of them have names like Orgog the Lazy, and prices are written underneath.
Would I know this to be like a bounty board?
Oh yeah, no, this is 100% a bounty board. An exceedingly small green gremlin, a creature of the wild, sits behind a gigantic book, barely held up by a steel reinforced table a few feet in front of the door, standing in front of you. He is perched on a wobbly stool that has been nailed to an old crate. He has pointed green ears barely visible over the pages of the book. He is wearing a helmet 2 sizes too big, held on his head by a worn leather belt. His human-sized hands deftly turn pages and make his quill dance across the pages before a cloud of dust is thrown at the book. Without warning, you all cough a little bit, and he tosses the book off to a nearby shelf a couple of feet away with similarly large tomes, and it just neatly slides in.
Are there
Is that ink dry dust that he just threw at it? Nice.
Yeah.
Good touch.
Are there excessively large weapons hiding about?
They are, but they're demonstrated like trophies.
Like, probably in the case of, I killed Orgoth, and this is his axe.
Yes.
With his hand still on it.
The little green gremlin looks up at you. I'm you hit. What can I help you?
A Mew hit?
No, I'm you hit.
We're new to town and we're looking to explore the village. And...
Oh, good. That means you're not guild members.
Guild members?
Join in? Ooh. Blood Hides All's guild. Well, sort of a guild. It's more of a group of people that just like to hit things. You hit seems a little nervous at the old lady in the bloodlust in her eyes.
Don't mind her, she's good at what she does.
Don't mind the name Gam Gam. You hit other things. You do not hit, you hit. We're a bounty hunters guild. You can either be part of the guild and get better prices, or you can be freelance work and take half the bounties. Those are the options, those are the terms.
I go over to investigate the board a bit more. I want to see what is on it.
A little bit of everything, and they're a cross creation.
Yeah.
There's some listings for like far western aquatic monsters.
Okay.
I inspect the weapons.
They are across ages. You find a blood-crusted spork missing a tine. Underneath, you see bloodthirsty fur bag.
I must know the story to this spork.
Anybody on the board at which we've crossed paths with before?
You see Ragnar.
Ragnar? Okay.
I'd like to collect on that.
Do you have anything to prove that we can?
Yeah, do you have his trophy?
Angus would actually cite the town and where it is, and you can ask the townsfolk for proof that we were involved.
So maybe you're not aware how bounty guilds work. I don't do your footwork. You do mine.
I like you. My name's Jack, and I put my hand up to shake.
He has a normal hand, even though he's like a
But that's what I think. He has a human hand. I picture like a little tiny goblin with a little battle helmet, but with like a normal human hand.
Yeah, that's exactly what it is.
Not shocked.
He just cracks open a lobster.
No offense meant, just I don't know how it works.
I don't take offense. There's not enough time in that.
What about a yard?
So are you here to turn in a bounty? Find some bounties? You guys interested in joining?
I just recognized Ragnar as the only one.
Yeah, everyone else is just faces you've never heard, never seen.
You'll
Are
have to
there
take.
any bounties that are nearby?
Yeah, thank you. That was my next question.
None of them show any information other than a picture, sometimes a name. It's literally going to be investigation checks and you guys visiting places to try and get more information on it.
I was just making sure we
Can I
weren't
look
on
at
the
the
board.
pictures and see if I recognize anyone? Can I roll
Yeah,
to...
who's paying for these
The
bounties?
bounties
quest.
are usually paid for the people that put in the bounty. So, hey, this person wronged me. I'm going to put this much money. Of course, the bounty guild takes a little bit less if you are actually a member, but there's a little cost effective. Basically, he describes a business model where every time you take a bounty and you guys succeed at taking the bounty, you guys are going to get a percentage of his gear, more or less.
Mm-hmm.
The gear around you is usually used to pay for the bounties. So, like, someone will come in and be like, hey, look, I want Ragnar dead. Here's an artifact, one sword.
Kill him. Yeah.
Correct. So the bounty guild will take a percentage of that item, but they can't take a percentage of the item. So then you owe the guild a percentage of that cost that you have to pay off before you're allowed to leave. And if you don't, they put a bounty. The guild itself puts a bounty on you to collect the debt.
Angus specifically looks for a bounty on either Thennegrin or Matsumoto. He starts hunting for it. I'll
He's
give
probably
you a
the one
roll.
putting out
Do
bounties,
you
dude.
mention that you're doing that, or do you just go do it?
If it takes, if he spends a good couple of minutes while this conversation is going on and he doesn't see any sign of it, he will bring it up.
Okay. You spend time searching. Is anyone else asking him what he's doing?
I want to know the legality of this. Who's paying for what? Like, I want the details of this guild. Like,
He gives you
can
the
we-
information
can
on
I
how to
just
join or whatever
ask
costs to be
for a
freelancer.
murder that's against the law? Like, what's the morality of what
whose
you
law?
do? I don't know.
Your law?
Yes.
The law of this land? The law of the realm? The law of Lotus Empire? What about the archipelago? What about the pact? There's so many laws. Who's actually going to say what's right and what's wrong? I'm pretty sure that's a choice that's left up to you.
Welcome to the moral gray zone. Do-do-do-do-do.
As far as the more mundane bestiary choices for bounty, because you guys do see some creatures up there.
Yeah.
We will pay you in hides or materials that we harvest from the creature, taking the rest as our form of payment. So, for instance, just as a argument's sake, Mr. Crafter, you want a chimera coat. You can go hunt a chimera, bring it back. They'll harvest and tan the hide for you, free of charge, and even make something for you out of it. But they're going to take the rest of the chimera.
Gotcha.
Question. So, just so I understand how this guild works, a bunch of respectful individuals.
I wouldn't say respectful.
I say respectful, I give them the wink. Do you guys specifically pay for proof of the bounty's completion, or do you guys pay for information as well?
We only pay for the proof.
Okay.
We don't have any information here, otherwise we'd get targeted more.
Targeted by who?
Whoever's not on the happy side of the bounty.
Correct.
Mm.
So we just post the posters. We are what you would call a gray market. I really have ledgers I need to finish up.
No, we were just interested in the building.
At that point,
I think.
this would probably pop in. Is there any?
I'm trying to think
I'm
of
searching for
there's
Matsumoto or
any
Thennegrin
way that we can
on this
prove
board.
that.
Oh, the Lotus Empire?
No.
Yeah, that ledger was cleared a few years ago.
What?
What?
Yeah, some young lady came in and dropped a ton of gold and diamonds and gems to buy off the debt that was incurred.
To buy the bounty off, so they
Correct.
don't get. Oh.
Correct. So they stopped posting the bounty.
Gotcha.
how's
Oh,
that?
okay, I gotcha.
Those of you who have any money sense, including Gratham, because he knows money, realize that's actually how the bounty guild's really making its money.
Mm-hmm.
People are going to buy in bounties. The bounties are going to go worldwide, and whoever doesn't want to be hunted worldwide is going to buy the bounty off.
Mm-hmm.
So if you're a leader of a nation, you keep track of the bounty boards because reasons.
Mm-hmm.
At which point, Angus looks for our names on the wall.
That's what I was doing.
Oh, I didn't hear that.
You are very certain that you guys have not done anything in the Kessentean name to qualify for it yet. You guys have kept quiet enough, and you guys haven't done anything for Kessetea. Except for a handout card saying, hey, we're from Kessetea, please give us business. And I'm just saying, like, that's honestly the first thing you guys have actually done to rep Kessetea.
True.
Outside of maybe the Fire Nation and being like, look, we got to go against these people. You guys are going to join us in this insurrection. Type deal.
Are all of your bounty targets come back dead? or any of them posted as a lot? Would be my last question.
Either.
Okay.
I think we got a couple of fellows up there like the street. They might pay a little extra.
A lot of blood theme going on in this town.
Blood.
It's a tradition.
Blood hyphen hides
Based
hyphen all.
on
Just how Bounty Guild started. Back when this was more of a pact run thing, they would hunt things from the wild, come in here and write the words or whatever, like a letter or something with the blood of their prey on the wall, and we just kind of kept it up throughout the years. There's paint under there somewhere.
pact.
Oh, it's a group of people that have something to do with the moon, and they change, and they hunt wild.
There goes Greg.
Not all wild. Like, some of us are okay, and we don't necessarily hate creation. It's just a big, huge blemish in the wild, but, I mean, it has...
You're one of them things.
Hey.
He looks really serious at Angus and goes, "Did the green fool you?"
I like him. Can we keep him?
Angus looks right back at him and goes, I've seen a lot of shit. Categorization has become a bit of an issue.
He waves at his shelves and shelves of thick books. I feel that. I hear you. I got you.
I thought
Yes,
for sure
I am.
gonna be like,
I am
don't
a creature of the
recall
wild.
it.
I'm one of the lower ones, though. We're able to survive out here.
Straight out of the wild. That you? Yes?
I thought you smelled familiar.
I mean, I've been there a couple of times, but I wasn't born there.
What part of Green Goblin human hands didn't you
You
get?
said you're one of the lesser wild
Yeah,
tiers.
yeah. There's everything from Smear or Underling to High Lord.
So chaos has order?
Yeah,
Oh.
and creation muddles that order because it puts form to the formless.
Just because it's orderly by your point of view doesn't mean it's orderly by somebody else's.
And you see Angus, like, visibly have a stroke. As he tries to square that circle, as it were.
That doesn't even make sense to me.
Yeah.
Makes sense to me.
How?
You just don't have the point of view to see it the way they do.
What point of view? There's.
Ben sits on his haunches. Well, it's kind of like making stew. It doesn't really make a lot of sense because all the ingredients get all muddled together. But when you put it in your mouth and you can't see it anymore, all of those flavors, all of those scents, all of it comes together in one single view.
Right, but you can't
That's chaos.
unmake the stew. You destroyed things to You
Necessarily.
can't go back to the base ingredients once you've made the stew.
You're assuming the ingredients were in the shape they needed to be in the first place.
But you've gone from a higher order to a lower.
We're the potato, the wild is the stew. The potato's in the stew. It's a big potato. They don't like looking at it.
Ben raises his paw. No, the wild's more of the soil.
There's no soil in the stew.
But where did everything come from?
So we're the
Wow.
potato in the soil. It's a really big potato. They don't like looking at it. Accurate? And he looks at
Yeah.
the goblin guy.
I do like taters.
It's just a big ugly.
What's
we're
taters,
just
precious?
your big ugly potato.
Yes,
I have a question.
with lots of eyes.
Can you see Fen?
You mean the kitsune?
You're the first one to use it. Yeah, nobody else knows the hell.
I mean, I've
No
never
one
really
else can
seen one,
see
but I mean,
that.
bounties are all over the world. I mean, I know of some creatures, but I mean, there's ones that live in the snow and some that are deep in the sea. The kitsune.
Do you
the
disclose who puts out
that I'm
bounties?
aware of. We don't even have that information.
Well, suppose I come to you and request a bounty. You wouldn't know I did that.
You give me money and I make the bounty, but I don't write your name down.
Okay. That is.
Yeah, they're putting money down. Hey, I want this done. When this is done, give them my money.
Doesn't matter.
They're paying up front before it even happens.
What is?
They're better off not knowing who took the bounty out.
I have a question. What is your ruling if somebody puts a bounty on an honorable member of your guild?
You know that word honorable. We're just a guild.
I use the term loosely.
Well, if someone puts a bounty off on somebody is a guild member, then the bounty itself would get levied against their current debt, and then whatever's left would get given to the person who collects the bounty.
Okay.
Out of character side note, I would like to read to you an excerpt from Ari's journal.
Okay, before you do this, though, he grabs his helmet and he goes, "This is from the last person who tried to put a bounty on me."
Nice. What's it do?
Impressive.
Ding!
Keeps 10 more. Angus actually takes a good look at it.
It's just a helmet.
You hit. I hope you don't take offense to this, but I think that you are absolutely adorable.
He goes a little, like, verdant green.
We find a guild called the Blood Hides It All. It's a bounty guild. Ragnar's picture is on the wall, but I don't have anything to prove I killed him. apparently emotional scars don't count.
Look, if you guys aren't going to be joining the guild, or you guys don't have business, I have other stuff I got to do. If you need me, I'm going to be at my work desk. So he goes to pull out a book and start.
Do we all head out?
Yeah.
Since Zalia and Ari were kind of leading the pack on this one.
Mm-hmm.
I was going to say, Gam Gam wants to join the guild, but I'm not sure if I should.
Do you ask what it takes to join the guild?
Yeah.
Your name?
Are there dues?
Do I have to, bring back so many bounties a month or a year or anything?
No.
I'm just part of
So the way that he explained the business is that you can join the guild and you get better prices for being in the guild, but the cost is apparently your name. They don't take any other names except members that are in the guild.
Are there penalties if I do other killings?
What you do in your private life is yours. Our only business is bounty.
I would like to sign up.
He pulls a dark crimson red book, and he opens it, and as he's opening it, you see a whole bunch of bloody handprints, and he gets to a blank page. Here you go, and he hands you a knife. So you put your hand down, and as the blood soaks into the page, your name shows up. So Ari shows up, A-R-I, in Old Realm. So anyone who has Old Realm sees the name.
Because you said I don't have to put my full name, right? Just what people call me?
No. This is, if someone was to request your full name under compulsion, what is your full name? So Lunari, then her last name, appears on the page above her blood handprint.
Huh.
And he goes, thank you very much. Anyone else?
Huh. Should I call you Lou or Ari? I'm confused.
Call me Lou, you're going to be missing a ton.
I need that tongue.
Don't do it.
Does this give us access to know what the guild, what the things are from a distance?
What do you mean? Like the items?
No, what the bounties are from, like, do we have to come here to figure out the bounties every time, even if we put our name in the book?
No, but it does give you option to send us your proof of bounty. It also registers you in all of the headquarters, so you can collect bounties from anywhere.
How many headquarters do you have, if you don't mind me asking?
Well, every major trade fort has one.
We got to get one.
Oh. What's your full name?
Angus McNack.
Okay, everyone sees Angus McNack.
That is your name.
Yeah, not at the moment.
Yep.
Screw it, I'll do it too.
Okay. What is your character's full name?
First name Zalia, middle name The, last name Wood.
Okay. Zalia the Wood.
Of the is the middle name.
Got it.
Of the, yeah.
Anyone else?
It's hyphenated.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll do it.
Huh? What is your full name?
I'm just putting Camel.
No, you don't get to choose. What is your name?
Oh, the only thing that would show up is Nanagi then.
Okay, so only Nanagi shows up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What is it?
I'm over looking at the fork.
A very tough group that was giving you hard times because you were trying to actually get your skills up to snuff.
Yeah.
And they kept trying to out you, and one day they just suddenly disappeared.
Those.
You do vaguely remember that there was a bounty on their head, but you're not really sure what happened. Very well. Closes the book. There's a big, huge ring on the front of the book. He stares at the ring for a couple of seconds, and 4 rings show up. He grabs them, hands them to each one of them. They are crimson coloring, and they look like they're moving.
Ooh.
Do a full investigation on it for
It's blood.
Sour blood.
Yeah.
Sweet. So for someone to
it goes, whatever finger you put on, your skin looks discolored, but you don't actually feel a ring. If you try to play with it, it comes back.
Yep, I put it on the pinky finger.
So he puts the book on the stand so that you guys can see the ring, and then he reaches to his own finger, and you guys see a discoloration on his finger. He grabs the ring, he tosses it on the ground. He's like, so whenever you want to cast a bounty, and he goes and he grabs a head that was sitting on top of armor and just pulls it off. It's all zombie eyes, like it's just, ugh. And he drops it in. He drops it into this ring circle on the ground, and it launches back out of the book, and he catches it. That's how you cash in your bounties. And he shows you the name on it, and then it slowly disappears, and he puts the head back. And he puts his hand out above the ring, and the ring comes up to his hand, and he puts it back on his finger.
Interesting.
Nifty.
Oh.
Well done.
Like
So you guys all get the very strong impression that that's why they need your name, so they can open the book and go through and figure out who just cashed in their bounty. Is there anything else I can do for you?
Do you have a location in Nexus?
Yeah. It's in the Undercity. Well, no, it's not really in the Undercity.
Is it in the library?
No, there's a place where you take a train. There's a whole bunch of demons. You go find it.
I literally, the moment he says there's a place with a train, Jack's head just drops and he goes,
I know what I need to know. Angus looks right at Jack.
I understand how you feel most days now. And I slowly turn around and walk away.
All the things Jack hasn't told people.
Hey, I wanted to bring you to the Well of Souls once. Nobody wanted to come.
Hey, at this point, I'm just happy that I have a way of possibly getting other people to give me exotic things that I'm looking for. I can put up stuff I can make as a bounty for a thing and then get the thing.
Correct.
Zalia, did you put your hand in the book?
Yes.
All right, cool. Why not?
But
I use my own knife though.
he opens up the book. You use your own knife.
Mm-hmm.
Slam your hand down. Nothing happens.
That's what I thought.
You take the knife and you do the thing.
Yeah.
Yep. Okay. Now your name shows up.
I was really hoping
He issues you a ring.
I go, I don't like this.
Jack notices there's no blood on the knife. It's exactly what you thought.
Mm-hmm. Just out of curiosity, you know what? No. I'm gonna take a page out of Angus's book and just go no. Nope.
So, do you guys try and grab any bounties? Do you guys try to look for a specific prey? Or are you guys bailing to another building?
I browsed the board.
Okay. So the board has a little bit of everything. Honestly, on an out-of-character level, this was kind of set up for you guys to just be like, you know what, I kind of want to go do this type of activity. So think of this more as a, hey, we want to make our own quest, and this is what I'm looking for type thing. You're going to find whatever you want here.
Let's find some murder.
Except for, getting extra rewards for killing people we're going to kill anyway.
You might find out that is already a thing. You just might not know who you're already killing. In this case, the assault on Picnic, plus him admitting that there were bounties on them before, makes a lot of sense now.
I hold off on taking a bounty just yet.
Yep.
And I'll come back after I'm done exploring.
Yep. So if everyone's leaving, do you guys go explore the other location, or do you guys go to a new district?
Bayou Head.
Later, Zalia of the Wood.
I think it's time.
As you guys leave the Bounty Hunters Guild, you guys realize that every time you guys look at one of you who's wearing a ring, there's something in the back of your mind that says Bounty Hunter.
Oh, cool. We'll know if we find a bounty hunter.
You have just listened to The Immaculate Chaos, released for free every Wednesday or live streamed bi-weekly on Saturdays, 1200 to 1700 U.S. Eastern. Be sure to join our Discord for the most up-to-date information and join the community. If you wish to support the podcast directly, or need to catch up to the live show, be sure to check out everything offered through Subscribestar and Podbean. If you like the background music, please be sure to check out the related artists. Peter Rowe is the mastermind behind most of the music in The Immaculate Chaos. Till we once again meet in creation. Thanks for listening, Anathema.